Man, I wish I had your metabolism. People used to say this to me all the time, thinking it was some kind of blessing. But little did they know, my fast metabolism felt more like a curse. Throughout my teenage years, I was severely underweight. At 17, I started working out and tried to bulk up, believing I was just too skinny because I wasn't eating enough. And while that was part of the problem, I soon realized it wasn't the full story. Once I started tracking my calories and really pushed myself to eat more, I discovered something frustrating. I could down plate after plate of food and still look like a walking toothpick. My friends even joked that I was a skeleton on batteries. My stomach felt like a furnace, burning through every calorie I fed it. Staying lean was easy, but building muscle? A nightmare. If you've been struggling to gain muscle with a fast metabolism, stick around. I'm about to break down exactly how I turned this so-called curse into a secret weapon for muscle growth. And no, the answer isn't just wait until you get older or eat junk food all day. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact science-backed diet and training strategies that helped me go from scrawny to strong, and how you can do the same. When I was 17, my days revolved around eating and training. Every morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. to make breakfast and prepare a meal for school. After my first class, I'd eat again. Then before heading home, I'd finish the meal I packed. Once home, I'd eat again because in my mind, more food meant more muscle. In the afternoon, it was time to train. Back then, I did only calisthenics, hitting the park every day. On the way there, I made sure to snack on some fruit. After every training session, I'd stop by the local supermarket, grab another piece of fruit, and eat it while walking home. Then, as soon as I got home, another meal, and later, dinner. Now, you might be thinking I was a massive 220-pound machine with all that food. But no, I was just 145 pounds. Despite my efforts, I still looked skinny. My fast metabolism was relentless, burning through everything I ate. It felt like no matter how much I consumed, my body refused to grow. At first, I thought I was simply doomed by genetics. And it's true. How fast your metabolism runs is largely inherited. Some people naturally burn more calories at rest. They have what we call a fast basal metabolic rate. In fact, research from the University of Vermont found that about 32% of people have metabolisms over 8% faster or slower than average. That works out to burning roughly 100 to 400 extra calories a day just by being you. A fast metabolism sounds like a superpower. Eat whatever you want and never gain weight. But for me, it felt like a curse. I wanted to build muscle, to finally fill out my shirts, yet no matter how much I ate, the scale refused to move. To make things worse, I didn't even have much of an appetite. I was forcing myself to eat all the food I mentioned, meal after meal, day after day. I remember standing in front of a mirror after weeks of intense training and eating everything in sight, expecting to see progress. But nothing. No extra size, no noticeable muscle growth. It was frustrating, demoralizing. It felt like my body was fighting against me. But here's the truth. If you consistently eat more calories than you burn, you will gain weight. My mistake? I thought I was eating a lot, but I wasn't eating enough to outpace what my body was burning. Then I learned about NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's all the small, unconscious movements that burn extra calories. Some people, like me, naturally burn way more, making it even harder to put on size. Once I understood this, I stopped making excuses and started eating with intention. That's when everything changed. At first, I thought gaining weight meant eating whatever had the most calories. Ice cream, pizza, burgers, anything. In college, I even tried the dirty bulk, stuffing myself with junk food on top of my normal meals. And sure, I gained weight, but not in the way that felt or looked good. Piling on empty calories might make the scale go up, but it won't build quality muscle. Instead, I shifted my focus to nutrient-dense, high-calorie foods that fueled muscle growth, not just fat. That's when I started seeing real, long-term results. I started by taking a hard look at my diet. While I was eating a lot, most of my meals were low in calories. Things like salads, plain chicken breast, and oatmeal with water. Healthy? Yes. But for someone struggling to gain weight, not nearly enough fuel. Many whole foods are high in fiber and protein, making you feel full fast, which unintentionally leads to eating less. So, I had to be strategic. Increase calories without feeling stuffed. Here's what worked. Boosting healthy fats. Fats have more than double the calories of protein or carbs per gram and don't fill you up as fast. I started drizzling olive oil on my meals, adding avocado to sandwiches, and tossing peanut butter into oatmeal and smoothies. Just a couple of tablespoons of peanut butter can add 200 plus extra calories effortlessly. Choosing calorie-dense foods. Instead of low-calorie snacks like popcorn, I switched to nuts and dried fruit. I swapped skim milk for whole milk, ate more cheese and eggs, and focused on whole grains and starchy vegetables like potatoes. Every bite packed more calories without dramatically increasing portion sizes. Drinking my calories. Since I got full quickly, I started making high-calorie shakes. My go-to was whole milk, banana, peanut butter, whey protein, and honey. 600 plus calories in one glass. It was an easy way to stay in a calorie surplus without feeling like I was force-feeding myself. Plus, the extra protein directly fueled my muscle growth. Eating frequent meals and snacks. I was eating every 2 to 3 hours, which kept my energy levels stable and prevented long gaps where my body could start burning reserves. This approach helped me consistently stay in a calorie surplus. Balancing nutrition. I made protein a priority, aiming for about 1 gram per pound of body weight. Lean meats, eggs, Greek yogurt, and protein shakes helped me hit my target. I was loaded up on complex carbs like oats, rice, whole wheat, and potatoes for energy, while moderating sugar to avoid energy crashes. A quick note on veggies, I still ate them. They're crucial for health, recovery, and digestion. But I used to load up on huge salads or piles of broccoli, only to struggle finishing my steak and potatoes. With a fast metabolism, I had to prioritize calories, so I flipped my approach. I ate my calorie-dense foods first, then veggies afterwards. Sometimes I'd even swap water for juice just to add extra calories without taking up stomach space. These small tweaks added up. For the first time, the scale started moving in the right direction. I consistently ate more than I burned every single day with quality food. The results? I went from a wiry 145 pounds to a solid 160 pounds in just a few months. And it wasn't just fat, I was building real muscle. My arms, legs, and face filled out, and even my family noticed the transformation. One last myth to bust. Having a fast metabolism doesn't mean you can't gain fat. During my dirty bulk, I proved that you can put on extra chub if you eat enough junk. The key is doing it right, eating a controlled surplus with proper weight training. The upside? I noticed I stayed relatively lean even after gaining weight, and my abs were still visible. When done correctly, a fast metabolism can work in your favor, allowing you to build muscle while keeping fat gain minimal. Pretty much the dream scenario. Although diet was priority number 1, without enough fuel, muscle won't grow. In fact, a calorie deficit can actually shrink muscle. Now that we've covered nutrition, let's dive into the other half of the equation, training. Because when your metabolism runs high, how you train can make or break your results. With a fast metabolism, you want to stimulate muscle growth efficiently without excessive calorie burning. That means focusing on strength training and keeping extra activity, especially cardio, under control. I revamped my routine around compound exercises: squats, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses, pull-ups, and rows. These multi-muscle movements trigger the most growth and boost testosterone and growth hormone levels, making them the ultimate muscle builders. The split I was using was push-pull legs. Instead of chasing heavy 1-rep lifts, I focused on 8 to 12 reps per set, maximizing time under tension and progressive overload, increasing weight or reps each week. Small improvements stacked up, and over time, my muscles finally started growing. I made a crucial shift: less gym, more recovery. I went from 6 to 7 lifting days to 4 to 5. Training each muscle group twice a week while taking at least 2 full rest days. Sleep became a priority. 7 to 8 hours per night gave my muscles the time they needed to repair and grow. I realized I was burning too many calories with excessive cardio activities, and that's why I minimized them. This doesn't mean to stay all day and play video games. With my new approach, my strength skyrocketed. I had been stuck benching 95 pounds forever, but after eating more and training smarter, I hit 135 pounds, then 155 pounds for reps. My squat, once a weak 115 pounds, climbed to 185, then 225. These weren't record-breaking numbers, but for a former skinny guy, they were huge milestones. Every new PR was proof that I was building real muscle. And it wasn't just the weights. The mirrors showed the difference too. My shoulders broadened, chest filled out, legs gained definition, and even gym friends started asking, "Yo, what program are you on?" My answer? Eating big and lifting heavy consistently. Not flashy, but it worked. A surprising bonus? Building muscle actually slowed down my metabolism. Just a little. Since muscle burns more calories at rest, my body became more efficient at using food for growth. That meant I had to eat even more to keep gaining, but it also meant my meals were fueling my muscles instead of disappearing into thin air. One simple tweak made a big difference: post-workout nutrition. After lifting, your muscles act like sponges, craving nutrients for recovery. I made it a habit to have a protein and carb meal or shake within an hour, usually a whey protein shake with fruit or honey for quick carbs. Why? It speeds up recovery by supplying protein to repair muscles and carbs to refuel energy stores. Research suggests 20 to 40 grams of protein post-workout maximizes muscle repair and growth, especially when paired with carbs. When I stuck to this habit, I felt less sore, more energized, and ready to train harder the next session. For hard gainers, every edge counts, and this was a game changer. Throughout this journey, I had to unlearn a lot of bad advice and myths that surround the fast metabolism topic. Let's address a few common ones that might be holding you back. Myth number 1. I have to eat massive amounts to gain weight. You don't need 4,000 plus calories. Start by adding 300 to 500 calories above your maintenance. Over time, your appetite adjusts, making it easier. Myth number 2. Lifting heavy burns too many calories. I should go light. Heavy lifting builds muscle, not just burns calories. Light weights won't challenge your muscles enough to grow. Myth number 3. I need mass gainers or steroids to bulk up. Real foods and basic supplements work best. Whey protein helps hit your protein goals, and creatine boosts strength and muscle volume. No shortcuts, consistency is key. In retrospect, I'm glad I had this challenge. It taught me a ton about nutrition and training that many others never learn. And the confidence you get from transforming your body? That's priceless. If you want to learn which are the best exercises for each muscle group, make sure to watch the next video.